Hello folks, thank you for checking out Persistent Graphics Menu. I have broken down the overall presentation into a few videos. In this video I will show you what this system is, what functionality it has, also what functionality it does not have, and what it is not, so you know exactly what to expect when you buy it, hopefully when you buy it. Okay, here we are. So what the system gives you is essentially three main functionalities. The first and most obvious one is of course a persistent graphics menu. It is the kind that you would find in most games. The second one is it allows you to dynamically change your graphics options while in runtime, while playing your games. You do that through blueprints, any blueprint you want. I will show you how to do that in another video. The third option is it allows you to keep those options, to keep the graphics settings that you chose while level designing. So now let's begin with showing you the menu itself. Okay, we're gonna go to graphics settings, and here we are. This is your menu. As you can see, we have here options that would be present in most of the games around. Let's change a few of them to show how they work. Post process effects quality is the most obvious one. As you can see, resolution scale is of course obvious too. I'll also show you how bloom works, because I think that will be apparent when looking at the sun. As you can see, ambient occlusion is also slightly visible on the weapon, if you can see it. Let's move on to showing you how the buttons work. We have three main buttons. The back button reverses all these values back to their previously saved values. So we're going to set this to low, we're going to hit back, and as you can see, it's already reverted back to epic. Try this with some checkboxes as well. We just set these to true. They were false. When we go back, we expect them to be false, and as you can see, they are false. Restart defaults button reverses all these values to their previously defined default values. Now, I will show you how to define those default values in another video. This video is just so that you understand what to expect from the system. But let's hit it. And these are my previously defined default values. Let's change this to low, for example. This one as well. Save it, go back. And when we hit defaults, it goes back to those default values. About the save button. Save button is where you actually issue these to be persistent, the changes you make to be persistent. So we set this to low, we save it, we go back, it will be persistent, and you open it back up again as well. So now let's move on to the second functionality we have, that is dynamic control over your graphics options while in runtime. In order to demonstrate that, I will drop a box trigger here. I was just making sure that it wasn't already here. I'm gonna extend it a bit. I'm gonna open our little blueprint. I'm gonna add an overlap event to it. We're gonna get actors of all classes. Now you can safely use this node when using the main graphics class, because I made it sure that you can only have one instance of this class in your levels. So using this is not memory consuming. What we'll do is we'll load settings from virtual save file events. I already have a previously defined virtual save file named Ver2, and that virtual save file, as you can see, has everything set to low. So what we are expecting is, when we go there to that trigger box, we are expecting everything to go to the lowest setting possible. And as you can see, that is exactly what happened. I thought this would be especially useful for when you have cutscenes. For example, in one of your cutscenes, you may want to have manual control over a certain option. You may want to, I don't know, disable shadows for whatever reason. And by using this load virtual save file event that I just showed you, you can create as many virtual save files as you want with the options you want, and so you can use those in your playtimes in your games, whatever you want. I thought that would be a useful feature. Now, moving on to our final functionality that is actually already apparent. So what that is, as I told you, having these options inside of the editor as well. And what I mean by this is, let's go to low, disable these, save them, and when we exit, these are actually going to be persistent in your editor. The reason for that is any console commands, graphical console commands that you issue takes priority over the engine scalability settings. So for example, you now have Bloom disabled in your level editor while designing levels. Now I know this is not a true functionality, it is more of a workaround, but however in principle it holds, and through this way you can have control over these options while level designing as well. And they will always override the engine scalability settings. Now we're going to move on to the final part, and that is what not to expect from this system. The very first thing that you should not expect is visuals. This system is not designed to provide you with a visuals for your visual template for your games. This is just so that you have a main framework of a graphics menu. It is not supposed to look pretty, it does not look pretty, and it is not designed to provide you with any menu visuals at all. You can, however, go to menu widgets. This is the main widget. You can apply any kind of styling you want and make it look however you want. All you gotta do is just change these settings like you would do in any UMG widget, and you will have the desired look you want. The second thing that you should not expect while we are here is that this menu is limited in that it will provide you with only these options. What I mean is, you cannot, for example, change anti-aliasing's choice field to have a slider. Slider. You cannot set this to have a slider instead of a combo box. So I used combo boxes for the main options, a slider for the resolution scale, and checkboxes for these here. You cannot, for example, expect this menu to provide you with a choice in that it would allow you to have, for example, a slider instead of a checkbox for VSync. No, it will not do that. You can do that fairly easy in the code. It is very easy to understand when you follow the comments, or you can always contact me and I can personally explain how you would go about achieving that. Well, this covers up what you should be expecting from the system part of the overall presentation. If you have any questions, just drop them below, and see you in the next video.